This is Carita Parts with Bowie Television at the Under Armour Performance Center. It is week 10 and the Baltimore Ravens are preparing for the Cleveland Browns. Now, they beat the Browns earlier this season. Deshaun Watson did not play. They're very aware that Watson will be under center this weekend, and that brings a completely different dynamic to the Browns. But as always, the Ravens are preparing. Like Lamar Jackson said, they're just trying to win games. He's been preaching consistency pretty much the entire season. So now that the team has won 4 in a row, I asked him what's been working so well. And he essentially said that everybody's locked in and they treat every game like it's a championship game until they finally get there. So they have their sights set on the Super Bowl, as we all know. We also talked about this defense. And Jackson said that he doesn't feel like the defense has any weaknesses, which is something that Roquan Smith has said over and over again, week by week. They don't feel like they have any weaknesses. They do know that the Browns pose a challenge, because if the playoffs started today, every single AFC North team would be in the mix. So this is a very competitive division. They know they have to take care of business Sunday, and that is all that they can see is getting another dub in front of their home crowd. This is Carita Parts with Bowie Television. Be sure to follow us for all of your Ravens content.
On to chat with you about the community event you just had a couple weeks ago. Can you talk about how that came, kind of how it came all together?
I did something with them last year. I wanted to go in the house, and I told the Ravens I wanted to do something else this year. I wanted to be more special. The Ravens kind of helped me put together being it out the way that they did, and driving down the house to good job, working with the Ravens, and my job was really to come in and be a nice person and enjoy the time with the kids. So I definitely enjoyed this time.
Yeah, you look like you were in your element. What was the most meaningful part of that event for you?
It's really hard to say just because there was a lot going on. Those special kids there, it's special for me to be there and part of their lives. I'm glad, so it was definitely an honor to be around them and the side, so it's not for sure.
You've been transparent about how you grew up not having much, so to be in a position where you can give back, how much is that, like how you grew up, shape when you have those opportunities?
I would say definitely a lot. This game and my life still seems so real for me. Maybe I get in my car before I go home and back. So it definitely motivates me. I always know where I come from and I get back possible.
Anything else you got coming up with the holidays from a community standpoint?
Maybe something around Christmas, but I'm not sure yet actually.
Okay.
I'm taking it week by week.
All right, I hear that. Thank you.
A great day for football. Every day is a great day for football. Very excited about the upcoming challenge. Division rival, very, very good football team. You know what kind of games these are in our division. And then we're excited to be at home. You know, we've got We got a chance to play in front of our fans in a real big game. I know they're going to be really into it. I know they're going to be loud. I know they're going to disrupt the huddle and the communication for the Browns by being just as loud as they can be, not just when the ball gets snapped, but between plays. I want to encourage that to our fans. So we're looking forward to it. We all are, but we understand the challenge that is in front of us. Okay, what questions do you have?
Do you think the crowd was responsible for that Geno pick?
Excuse me?
Do you think the crowd was responsible for that Geno pick? Does it seem like the communication from Geno to Lockett?
Oh yeah. You know what? That's probably had a lot to do with it. Actually, they had a miscommunication. They might have been checking a play there or a route, and they certainly didn't get it. So that's a very good chance that happened. Thank you. That's right. Appreciate that.
John,
Good shout.
John, obviously the Browns defense, I think, fewest yards allowed right now this year. When you're watching film, though, what kind of impresses you the most about that defense?
Very, very, very aggressive. I mean, very attack oriented. They're kind of a mindset of a puncher. They come out swinging, downhill at every level, tight coverage, all the way up to linebackers downhill versus run, defensive line upfield. That's kind of their way. They understand who they are, and they play very well, very hard.
John, kind of building on that, the Browns have one of the lowest third down percentages allowed on defense. Just what do you think, or what are you seeing when you watch the tape on them? Just that makes it so hard to get first downs on that.
Right. I mean, I don't think it's any secret. They're just really good. They can rush the passer and they can cover. That's kind of the combination on third down. Plus, you'll see that they're in third. They have third and long a lot. They get people in the third and long a ton because they're so successful on first and second down as well. So it kind of all goes together.
I know you expected to see Deshaun Watson last time, and then he didn't play, but you studied him, you prepared for him. What impresses you about him at this point in his career?
Right. Well, I mean, Deshaun's a playmaker. That's the thing. He's gonna do it on time with the rhythm passing, quick game. He can do it with the play action, the boots and the drop, the play action stuff off of their zone run game, and then he can do it as far as extending the play, both as far as running and then also I think he does a really good job on the run to find receivers when he's moving out of the pocket. So, playmaking quarterback.
John, when you're playing division teams, especially for the second time, how much do you take from what worked the first time you played those teams?
Well, you do take a lot of that, and you kind of try to extrapolate a little bit about what their answer might be, and then what you're going to need to do to counter that. I mean, it's kind of a guessing game there, but you don't want to stop the play for them. You want to make sure that you test them a little bit, and I'm sure they'll test us and make sure that we can defend not only the plays that were successful against us the last time, but the ones that have been successful by other teams too.
John, they have Kenyon Drake, who they just signed last week, I believe. O'Shea is there now. It's kind of fan media chatter that, he's going to give them secrets. And then how much does you think about that, talk about that? Is that a factor when it comes to players that have recently been with you guys?
No. I mean, it's you're changing from week to week so much in terms of the plays that you actually run and the way you run them. And then any kind of like code words or signals or anything like that you're always protecting those. You're always changing them. So I don't think that's going to be an issue one way or the other.
John, you value organizationally just being unpredictable for opponents and kind of keep continually evolving, as you were just mentioning, week by week. To this point in the season, how do you think Todd has done in terms of the offense, keeping opponents off balance with his play calls? I mean, for example, this last week we saw him call for runs and a lot more of the early downs. Is that something that you've seen and that you're pleased with?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of layers to that, and I think sometimes we look at it and it's easy to look at pick out one factor or another, whether it's like you say early down, how many times you run, how many times you pass them. But there are so many layers into that people are studying, so much information that we get, who's on the field, where they're lined up, what the motions look like, what call was made before that in terms of sequencing of calls. We really do study. Coaches at this level study all those things. So it's very nuanced in terms of keeping people off balance. I do think Todd's done a very good job of that. But the bottom line really is execution. When it's all said and done, all that stuff really is important. But really the most important thing is that you execute the plays well.
John, we've seen Lamar be very efficient so far. Two passes I think you want to have back, or maybe to Rashad, the deep ones, a couple deep ones. Do you think maybe the consistency of the deep throws is that maybe the next step that you guys are trying to achieve?
Yeah, I mean, it's those when we hit those plays in games, it's going to be great. I mean, it's a difference maker. I'm sure we chase it all the time, but we're hitting them in practice regularly. Sometimes things come up. I think sometimes you make a decision maybe just to throw it away. Other times, it might be a step or two further than you want or shorter than you want it. But all in all, I'm very confident in the deep passing game, and I'm very certain that we're going to make those plays in the coming weeks.
Linderbaum in particular opened a pretty big hole for Mitchell on his touchdown run. What have you seen from him in year two, and how much is he adding in terms of run blocking to the line?
No question. Well, he adds a lot. I mean, he's a great run blocker. I think he's an excellent pass blocker as well. But he's a guy that can really sustain a block. I mean, when it really comes right down to it, he can get into a fit very quickly. He's just an explosive athlete, and then he can sustain. Really, that's the bottom line of blocking. He does it really well.
John, Lamar's done so much so well this year, but there have been a couple of mesh point problems with Justice Hill. What's happening there, and how do you fix it?
Well, you fix it by just consistency in terms of the angles and the mesh, fit. So something came up in that last game that kind of altered the spacing between the quarterback and the running back there. That just kind of happened, and you got to keep working through it. So we're not happy about that at all. I think that's probably the main thing, for us right now, to make sure we clean up all those things and keep the ball off the ground.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
So Lamar, #1 in completion percentage as far as accuracy thing. What do you think has been the difference for you? I mean, you've always been in the 60%, but now over 70%. What do you think has been the big difference this year for you to get that up there?
What if I don't have an answer? I don't know, just hard work, dedication, going out there and just competing my tail off. That's all. Nothing really changed, just the percentage of anything. I don't know.
Is that something you ever look at? Like, do you ever look at those stats or that kind of stuff, like where you are and that kind of thing?
Nah, to be honest with you, no. Probably after the game if they tell me about it, but I'm not just gonna go and look and see what I did. I'm trying to win. I don't really care about the stats.
Lamar, this is your first year with T. Martin as your quarterback's coach. Can you talk about how he has helped you develop and what he is like kind of behind the scenes in the meeting rooms and things like that?
Just he wants us to be perfect. Me, Josh, Snoop, he wants us to be perfect. And every morning he got something like a championship quarterback. He wants you being a championship quarterback. And he always tell me, like, I'm going to grade you harder than probably anybody else will. And I'm cool with that because I'm hard on myself. And I know I want to be great, and so is he. So does he. As our coach, he wants all us to be great, and that's pretty much it.
Obviously, he played the game, and he's kind of a trailblazer in his own right. Is he somebody that you admire both as a player, the person, the way that he, the way he can connect with you based on his experience as a player as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, his experience, being able to play at this level, being a national champion in college, that's crazy.
Lamar, you've been talking about consistency. You guys have won 4 in a row. From your perspective, what's been working so well?
I believe our whole team just locked in. Every phase, special teams, defense, offense, each and every week I believe we've gotten better. There's certain things in the game, when we finish with games, like we're hard on ourselves about, but at the end of the day, we're trying to get wins. And I believe us just knowing each and every week it's a championship game to us. That's pretty much what it is. We're treating every game like a championship game until we finally do.
Lamar, Cleveland's always had good defenses. Myles Garrett's been there for a while. What have you seen when you watch them on film as to why they are one of the better defenses in the league this year?
Like you said, #1, Myles Garrett, the leader of that defense, I believe. And those guys just fly around. I believe those guys are headhunters. Secondary, linebackers, and like you said, the defensive line, they're just flying around and trying to attack with aggression. And that's pretty much what stands out to me.
Do you expect to see a better version of them this time? I mean, you guys jumped on them in the first half in Cleveland. Do you think they'll be a better all-around team this time?
I can't call it. I'm just we just going in there and just trying to focus on getting a dub. I don't know how they're going to come out and play us, but I believe every team's going to try their best to beat you. That's part of our job. That's part of the game.
Lamar, how does the preparation change when you are facing a team for the second time in the same season? And the first meeting wasn't that long ago.
Just go back and watch the things that they did well against us. When they stopped us from completing drives, because they might try to piggyback off that and try to watch ourselves against other teams. They might try to do things that they did to stop us from certain things, but that's it.
Lamar, with your rushing attempts going down, at least to this point in the year, have you noticed defenses defending you differently? Are they still guarding you kind of run first a little bit still?
I believe they are, but we have so many weapons on offense, they don't really know what to do, because we got guys running out the backfield, Justice, Gus, Keaton, we got OBJ, Bate, Mark, Zay, both of the Zays. Dude, we got all these guys, so it's really hard to define where the ball gonna go, and that's pretty much hurting the defenses. So we just need to keep staying locked in and focused and keep that going.
Hey, Lamar, for a long time we've asked guys on defense how playing against you in practice makes them better. How does this defense make you better, and particularly this year's defense, which appears to be one of the best in the league?
Just by, I believe, I'm not trying to toot our horn, but I believe our defense has no weakness. Just from the defensive line, the linebackers, the secondary, how they flying around and disguising defenses to make it look like one coverage, but it's something else, and how they time up their blitzes. It helps us out a lot, because we playing other teams, they flying around giving us their best shot. It's like we send one of the best defenses every day.
You talked to Mike McDonald about getting some defensive snaps,
No, I ain't speak to him yet, not yet. Try to give me a second like Art and Kyle, hopefully.
Lamar, you mentioned T. Martin. Just curious, like when you think back to, not that you think back to this, but when you do think back to early in your career and how you maybe led the quarterback room, or just how you were in the quarterback room versus how you are now, how do you think you've evolved in that room, just from a leadership standpoint and what you're seeing and vocalizing and things like that?
What you just said, like I'm more vocal than I was before. Early on, I was just wanting to learn, the ins and outs of defenses in the NFL. But now, like me just seeing them each and every week, different defenses every week, I got a lot more questions. I see certain things, and then I want to just tell coach like, yeah, we should try to put this in the game plan and stuff like that.
What is the dynamic like in that room? Just what's the vibe kind of like in there?
To be honest, we be locked in. Like we might laugh around, but it's pretty much we locked in. We trying to be great. We trying to be a championship team, and that's what we chasing right now.
Lamar, do you take it as a sign of respect when defenses do drop 8 against you? I don't think it's something that happened a lot in years past.
I guess, John, but I can't call it. I'm just trying to win. I don't care what they do. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win the play, the drive, the game.
Lamar, I'd asked John this, and among all the good things that have happened, there have been a couple issues with the mesh point and fumbles with Justice Hill on exchanges. Why do you think that's happening, and how does it get fixed?
We're trying to win. Just getting. We're trying to move too fast. I believe on all the fumble exchanges, it's been us just being too fast, too antsy. But I believe we're gonna calm down with that. It won't be any more fumbles. I don't believe.
Lamar, wins and losses are calculated mostly.
What have teammates told you about kind of the games with these division opponents, and what are you expecting on Sunday?
I'm expecting a tough defense, but every day we come out here and work hard. Hopefully we'll be able to put up a fight against them guys. I know it's going to be a tough one, physical game, so we'll be ready for it.
What do you see out of the Browns defense?
I know they got some great guys. They got a good front, good team. So we'll prepare accordingly. So,
What's this week been like? And as Harb said on Sunday, I think that people know who you are now. You're not taking anybody by surprise. How do you kind of approach this week in a repeat performance?
Yeah, I just approach every week the same. Work hard, come out here, watch film, and really just prepare. Like every team is a good team. This is the NFL. It's not college no more. So come out here, bust my tail every day.
Keaton, that said, what were the text messages and phone calls like? I imagine there was an increase in volume.
Oh yeah, they were just calling me, congratulating me, and just supporting me. So it was a good experience to see my phone blowing up and things like that. So,
what did Dad have to say? Can you share?
He told me you got the 24-hour rule. Enjoy it 24 hours, then let it go.
How do you try to kind of, obviously you enjoyed that, but how do you try to move on and build off of what you were able to do last week?
Like I said, come out here every week, work hard, every week the same week. It's the NFL. Every team is good. Every defense is good. So come out here, prepare like you'll prepare for any other team.
How much are you trying to make sure that you are a big factor for this offense over the course and a big weapon for this team over the course of the second half of the season?
Whatever plays coach throw at me, just be ready, prepare, come out there and work hard mentally and physically, take care of my body.
Did you know before the last game that you were going to have the ball in your hands more?
Say it again?
Did you know before the last game that you were going to have the ball in your hands?
Yeah, they said they were going to give me the ball a little bit more. Obviously, I came out hot and they just rolled me till they could, but it was, yeah.
You were voted FedEx Ground Player of the Week. What's your reaction to that?
Oh, I ain't even know. Did I win?
That's what it said.
Oh, okay.
You won.
Hey, it's a good feeling. Hopefully, there's more to come. So, yeah.
Thanks, Keaton.
Thanks, Keaton.
Talk
about feeding off of others. How much do you feed off the home crowd when it's loud and you're on this 2-week stretch here?
Yeah, I love being at home, especially like that game. But I just the crowd or even opposing crowds and stuff like that. Just hearing the hate and stuff like that. So I'll say like the crowd definitely plays a big role.
But I mean, so many different guys on this team on this defense have gotten sacked. What does it say about how you guys feel?
I mean, I feel like that's the Mike, defense. Obviously, the work that a lot of the guys did in the season. But then also Chuck as well, I feel like this year is more of an emphasis of, being ready. Bird's call, getting ready to stand. Guys just want to get sacks. Once you want to be there, energy flow, and start shifting in that direction. So I just feel like a lot of guys will be more effective.
When you guys showed up for training camp, Davian, Kyle Van Noy, they were in the conversation. What's it been like for you to play with them? What have you learned from them? What has the experience been as a guy?
It's just different things. I learn different things from different vets. JD obviously he's more like that JPP mode, like just he's gonna play balls out and just go hard and he don't really try to look at too many tells and things like that. He's just playing hard, bro. That's JD. So that's things I like about him. A lot of times in my career I was just thinking about too much stuff. So JD helps me with stuff like that. JD, Sam prototype, he knows everything, coverages, savvy, little things that add to your game to get more plays. Different little things.
Obviously, Kirk fans always kind of speculate at the trade deadline, but when you kind of we've already got our guys.
Yeah, we're good. So, we're going to continue to get better. By God's grace, everyone's going to continue to just get more healthy. So, we're in a good place.
You guys have been blown out. Some teams recently you've been in some close games. How would you kind of compare that from close games to the last part? How would you kind of compare the differences and the lessons learned from the two different types of games?
Just finishing, being more focused and discipline on, just dominating our opponent. It's like we can beat teams, but Mike always says you want to finish the play or the game in a dominant position. So it's just being more dominant, being more focused on the things that we were doing earlier in the game or prior in the week. So
it really feels like Mike McDonald is putting in different, unique pressure packages every week. Is there something new every week? And can you talk just about how he's putting you all in different positions and how that helps us out?
Yeah, I mean, probably have some things. But there are different things each week, but I also think it's just guys, are just getting more comfortable in the scheme and the defense. Mike had all these stuff last year too. Guys are just learning their plays, being more skillful in certain positions. So it's a little bit of both.
Duffy, what was it with the rush when you kind of go from the 5 tech to I think all the way around? Was that part of the pass?
It was. It worked cleaner too, but it was definitely just me having to work the other side because we were trying to flush him that way. But I wish Kyle got that pick, but it was a good play that drew up.
How big has it been for you to come back from the injury and be able to be an impact player after dealing with that early season?
What was the question?
How big has it been for you after dealing with that injury to come back and be an impact player these last few years?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I just thank God. There are guys that can't be out there, got hurt, and everything. I think about my brothers, stuff like that, like Ojabo and stuff like that. So I just try to go out there and just play as much as I can. I'm very blessed to be able to come back and help the team again.
Ajafe, do you study a guy like Myles Garrett? Do you admire a guy who plays your position and does what he does?
I definitely have a lot of respect, but like I said, there's different body types, different skill types. He's a freak of nature in his own right, but there's definitely like certain things I'll take from him and his game, but I'm a different type of person, so I give it to him.
Thanks. When you get that running game going in a game, I know you're not counting the yards that's happening, but as an offensive line, do you kind of feel the taking over in a game like that when those rushing yards keep piling up?
Yeah, I think as an O-lineman, that's your dream to get the run game going. Certainly every game we're trying to, be effective in the run game because that opens up a lot of other things. But especially talking about last game, it was kind of slow early. Just stay with it, stay at it, and the running back started hitting those holes, and saw things start to get moving.
Tyler, we keep seeing different elements. How much room do you think this offense still has to grow?
Yeah, a lot. There's still a lot of things each and every game on tape that we can improve on. And certainly just being at almost to the halfway point. We're doing a lot of good things, but also things that we need to get better at. I think we got a good group of guys that know that and want to improve. Aren't content with where we're at right now. So it's always good when you have a good group of guys like that.
Tyler, the left guard position was a competition at the beginning of the season. John Simpson won it, and you played next to him for the next 9 weeks. Just what's it been like working next to him, and how have you seen him perform just over the course of the season?
Yeah, John's been awesome. He's definitely deserved that starting job. Just coming in here every day, working his tail off. And just the thing with him, just gaining confidence each and every week. He practices hard, goes out there and performs on game day. So, when you're looking at teammates, that's what you want out of your teammate.
Tyler, you got a lot of kind of national love for that play on the 60-yard run by Keaton Mitchell. Take out one guy, run downfield, take out two more guys, 25 yards downfield. What's your mentality on that play where you look ahead of you, the run's still going, and you're trying to get downfield on that play?
Just trying to be explosive, trying to make those explosive plays happening. If you look on the tape and on the film, everyone's doing their job. Everyone's finding someone to block. I'm just trying to do my part, and so are other 10 guys on the team.
Tyler, when you talk about being explosive, a lot of the time when that's mentioned, it's about position, skill players, wide receivers, running backs. Does that also go to the offensive line that you guys also want to be explosive?
Yeah, for sure. We got to block the guys in front of us. And then block guys in front of us, work to the next level, and then we have awesome skill position guys here that can make a lot of things happen. So we do our job, they do their jobs. A lot of good things can happen.
Tyler, you're in the middle of a 3-game home stretch here. How beneficial is it to be playing at home in front of your crowd?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Our fans, especially this last game was awesome. The more fans we can get out there, the better. We really lean on them, and they've been tremendous. And this hope, this next 2-game stretch, we can get more fans out there as well. Because when they're rolling, we're rolling. So it's good to have them out there.
The Browns.
Goes without saying how special of a player Myles Garrett is, but knowing that he can move around some, just how much discussion is there among the offensive line with just knowing where he is on every single play?
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that you got to know where he's at. One of the best DNs in the league, one of the best defenders in the league, and the tape speaks for itself. He's a guy that has all the tools. Just his size, strength, and speed. It definitely makes it challenging. So, it's someone you definitely have to know who and where he's at. But that starts with the game plan, starts with this week, and just trusting our fundamentals and technique and to get the job done.
Lamar's rush attempts are down. He was saying it's because there's so many offensive weapons. But from your standpoint, do you feel like defenses are defending differently since he's rushing less, or they're still respecting that threat?
Yeah, you got to defend his legs, right? He's one of the most electrifying players in the league. But also he can throw the hell out of the ball. So he's done a tremendous job. And like Lamar said, we got a lot of good weapons that can get the ball. But when the times that he need to run, he can run. When he needs to throw, he can throw.
When you get a new coordinator, I mean, people obviously focus on what that means for the quarterback, for the wide receivers, et cetera, but how much learning curve would you say there's been for the offensive line with Monken, over the course of this year?
Yeah, I mean, I still think, having OTAs with Coach Monk was huge, just getting familiar with, maybe our philosophy and how we want to be as a unit, understanding the communication. And I think he's been tremendous just trying to get everyone on the same page. And he always preaches over-communicate. He'd rather over-communicate than under-communicate. So, just creating our identity, OTAs into fall camp, finding ourselves has been huge. And then, we're still creating that identity as the season goes. Still finding stuff to improve on. But I still think we're doing a lot of good things.
Does your job feel much different under him than it did under Greg, or largely the same?
No, I think it's about the same. Also, too, it's just at the end of the day, wherever you go, communication has to be important for the line position. So as long as everyone's on the same page, 5 guys doing the same thing, including tight ends and quarterback knows what's going on, you put yourself in a successful situation.
Hey, Tyler. Justin Madubuike is having a great year on the D line. What have you seen from him in practice, and have you guys ever gone at it full speed?
Yeah, I mean, Beats was a problem in camp, OTAs. He's been a problem for us O-line for a while now. So we've all seen the issues that he's caused, the havoc that he's caused in games, and we've gone against that in practice. So what he's doing right now, it's not a surprise to any of us because that's just the type of player he is. I mean, you watch him in practice, he's going the same speed. So, credit to him, and that's why he's so successful on Sundays.
Tyler, you see the defense's pressure packages and you practice every day. How different are they from what you see from a typical defense around the NFL?
Yeah, they certainly cause, there's a lot of different fronts that you can see for them, and they come at you in a lot of different ways. And it can be challenging, and it helps us, when we see that in OTA, see that in fall camp. So, and I'm not sure if there's other defense around the league that shows multiple looks like they do. So it definitely helps us get ready for this season, and it can be challenging for offenses to prepare for.
All right, thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Do you feel differently about that now?
A little bit. I feel like it's a long season. We still got a lot of games ahead. I feel like we are getting more respect, but I feel like it's still not the respect that we want. And honestly, we haven't accomplished the things that we want to accomplish yet. So I feel like there's a lot of respect out there to still be taken.
Do you feel like Cleveland with Watson will be a different entity than they were with the rookie when you played him before?
Yeah, obviously it's Deshaun Watson. They give him all that money for a reason. So he's a great player. But at the end of the day, he's coming to our stadium with our team, with our defense, with our fans. So that place is going to be rocking. We're going to have it rocking. We're going to do what we need to on defense to get them jumping and just try to show them down.
How much do you feed off that as a defense when the crowd is kind of going crazy in that atmosphere?
Crowd definitely makes a difference. That just gives you like that extra motivation just to go even harder. I don't know, it's just when you stop them on 2nd and 8 or maybe whatever, and it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 or whatever, and the crowd starts jumping. It's just like that extra motivation. It could be a long drive, and you just when the crowd gets up and you got the extra motivation, you just feel like you're unstoppable.
Patrick, Lamar was just asked about the Ravens defense, and he said he doesn't think there's any weakness. As a player who plays on the defense, do you kind of agree with that assessment?
I definitely agree. If we all lock in, just do what we're capable of, just each play, just lock in, communicate, play as hard as we can, have the best technique we can, it shouldn't be nobody be able to stop us. The only people that can stop us is us. So as long as we go out there and focus in and just take one play at a time and just dominate, we'll be fine.
Have you felt that way in past years here, or is it more so, at least at this point in the season, than it has been in your previous years?
You always feel like that. You always feel like you got confidence in your defense. And it's just small plays here and there that could actually just change like those past defenses. So obviously, I feel like those defenses still were pretty damn good. And it's just, like I said, a few plays here and there that stop us from being that number 1, number 2, number 3 defense.
How much of a motivating factor is it for you to be going up against another, or not against them, but on the same field as another great defense to kind of show who the better defense is?
It's a lot of motivation. It's a lot of talk right now. And we just want to talk about our past, honestly. We just want to go out there, dominate, one play at a time, have fun with it, talk a little trash on the field, and go at it again.
Patrick, I know you guys are focused on Sunday, but when you look at standings in the AFC North, and the 5 days of the Browns and the Bengals. How big for this season and where you guys want to be at the end? How big are those 5 days coming up?
It's huge because obviously, you get a few days off after that. So I think the big key is just locking in on the task at hand, just not looking forward, just taking each day at one at a time. When the game presents itself, go out there, dominate. After that game, just whatever you got to do to recover, come into that next game on that short week, and just get ready to dominate again. But overall, just taking one day at a time.
Is there a comparison between these games and the old SEC days? I mean, you guys are playing so well, but it's hard to get away from these other teams, it seems like, because they're winning too. I mean, is it a similar feeling? Or?
It definitely is. It's just everybody always wins, and this is a tough division, probably the toughest division in the NFL. So when you see how the division is stacked up right now, it's just like no room to breathe. So you just got to keep our foot on everybody else's neck and just keep doing what we're doing right now, just trying to keep winning.
Patrick, Levi Childs brought up LSU and SEC. You guys blew out a lot of teams during that national championship season. You're blowing out a lot of teams now. But I want to ask you about some of the games you guys had early in that LSU season, like the Florida game. You guys had to come back in the third quarter. What do you think that game, that resilience you guys showed, meant for you guys in the long run? When you get to championship game against Clemson, be down, you just know how to figure that out and come back.
Yeah, it was just a huge confidence boost for our defense, just knowing that we could actually stop people. I think in the beginning of the year, we were letting up scores and stuff, and it all came from communication. That's the biggest thing that I preach on because I've seen it firsthand, just how communication could change everything out for the court that second half, and then we went on a little run, like shutting teams down and whatnot. And, it's just anytime you just get on a roll like that, you got the confidence rolling, and everybody's communicating, everybody's flowing on one page. It's just something special to see, and obviously.
I'm sorry. Different from the last time you played Cleveland, Deshaun Watson probably will be their quarterback. What does he bring, and how different are they with him?
He just brings who he is. He can put the ball anywhere on the field. He can run. He does not want to slide. So anytime you got a quarterback that's willing to lower their shoulder, that's a huge threat to your defense. And we just got to go out there and play our game. Honestly, it could be any quarterback in the league that goes out there. It's up to us what we want to do, how we want to be remembered, how do we want to play, how do we want our defense to look when we play the Cleveland Browns.
Patrick, the Players Union president.
I would say I don't want to, just go into there.
I would say the big difference with the Browns offense this week is the previous week that you played him was Deshaun Watson. He's back. What is the challenge that he presents on Sunday?
Yeah, man, good veteran quarterback. Been in the league for a while, so got a lot of respect for him. Guy can, let it rip, and then, he's able to use his legs as well. So we'll be very prepared for it. A lot of confidence in Mike, the defensive staff, to have us ready for the game. So looking forward to it.
What do you make of the head coaching buzz with Mike McDonald?
Honestly, I haven't really heard too much about it, so I don't really concern myself about it. And I know Mike personally is not concerned about it either, but just his pedigree and the way he do things, man, he's focused on Baltimore Ravens defense and what we can do to get better. And that's his mindset each and every week. And so love him leading the charge.
And bro, how much do you guys lean on the energy of these home games, early in the stretch? How beneficial is that to you in defense?
It's going to be huge, with the crowd support. Nothing like playing in the bank, man. The type of noise, last week was even insane. But it's also started with just having our confidence amongst each other, and knowing what we can do, and bringing that noise of in our own mind mentally, having that. So I feel like if we do that on top of the noise at the bank, man, making a hostile environment, I think it's tough for anyone, let alone what we do on offense and defense as well.
Is there extra motivation as a couple of us knowing what they have facing?
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I care more about the win. As long as we win, I've said it weeks prior, we can be the not so best defense or the best defense. As long as we winning, that's all that matters to me, and that's what matters to most of the guys in the locker room. But you play the game to be the best at the end of the day. But I'm not focused on that. I'm more concerned about Ravens win.
A little bit back on Mike. Obviously you got the game ball last Sunday. What do you guys feel once Mike kind of sets out the game plan week by week there? Just an added sense of confidence after you kind of see what he has in store for you guys?
Honestly, man, I've been confident in him since I first got here, known Mike for a long time, so like it's not like something. I know how cerebral he is, and like I know how much thought he put into this, and like how much he cares about the game plan, like spending countless hours. Like I know it's pretty insane, man. I know that guy busts his tail day in and day out, man, and I'm just like grateful to be playing under him because I know he's gonna have us prepared and with the best possible game plan that we can have.
Roquan, I know you guys are focused on Sunday, but given where the standings in the AFC North and the 2 games within 5 days, Browns-Bengals, how big are these next 2 games in just a short time span? How big are these for where you guys want to end up at the end of the season?
Yeah, like you said, definitely focused on this Sunday, but I think it's just gonna, separate the men from the boys. That's how I look at it, and we're ready for whatever, whenever, however, whomever, whatever the case may be. So we'll be ready, but we're definitely focused on Sunday and taking care of the Browns when they come out to the bank.
Roquan, you guys have done a really good job.